Are we rolling?
Yep.
Shapes, man. There's so much Craig could say about shapes. Craig, Greg, Noyes, and JT all jammed together in high school. The music was nothing short of groundbreaking, but there was something missing. No drummer. Craig was against the idea, but Greg Noyes convinced Craig to let Triangle Chris, Craig's little brother, drum for Shapes. Because he was the only one on a drum set around. After Triangle Chris joined, Shapes really blew up. We were selling out all of our hometown shows. Next thing you know, Island Records signed us, and our first album went to #1 and triple platinum. Oh yeah, I always knew Shapes was going to be big. That's why I've always been there for Craig. Whether it's fixing his guitars, or his toilets, or supporting him emotionally, I've always been Craig's right-hand man. We won 4 Grammys and held a 3-year consecutive spot on Total Request Live. Carson Daly had us on his speed dial. I remember playing Woodstock 99 when we was first coming up. Craig came back to the van fuming about Fred Durst. Turns out Fred cut him in the hot dog line, took the last 2 hot dogs, and then whispered to Craig, "Shapes ain't shit." That started Shapes, but mostly Craig's 7-year beef with Fred Durst. The Grammy security was aware of a potential outbreak of a fight between Craig and Fred the first time we were nominated.
So, Meg, how did you meet Craig? Are you just gonna sit there? What is this? You don't talk? Are you gonna talk at all? What the fuck is going on? Okay, we gotta cut this.
Oh yeah, I was a big fan of Shapes back in the day. In fact, in 2004, I got rammed into Porta-John at one of their concerts. Those were the days. But once I moved in that piece of shit Craig's house and found out he was in the band, I got rid of all my records, I burned my shirts. It really tainted my Porta-John Bang memory.
Hey, Peacock! Who is that filming you?
Ah, shit, I gotta go.
Pinion!
Things were going amazing and Shapes was on top of the world. And that's when Triangle Chris fucked everything up! Chris's heart just wasn't in it. It never really was, but Chris didn't want to stop the momentum we had going. At a certain point though, Chris knew this wasn't what Chris wanted to do with Chris's life. Chris always saw Chris's self as a doctor or a lawyer. So Chris enrolled in Harvard Law School and decided to focus on Chris's self for once. Chris destroyed Craig's fucking life. And not just Craig's life, Chris also destroyed Jalapeno Travis's and Greg Noyes' life as well. Shapes was on top of the world, the biggest band on the planet, and Chris pulled the rug out from under us. Craig will never forgive him and Craig hates him. Nah, I never wished any ill will for Chris. He did what was best for him, and I get it. Plus, my new band's doing really hot right now, and I have Triangle Chris to thank for that. It was tough, and it shook up my world, man. But I'm happy for Chris, and I'm proud of him. He's a real success. I'm just glad that Craig and Chris are finally talking again.
Any hope for a Shapes reunion?
Who knows?